Greetings, fellow Aussians. So, earlier today I saw Working for Good, just got back from it. The second half of the adaptation of the book and stage play, and full disclosure before I get too into this, I won't get too spoilery. I do not feel as strongly about the second half of the book and play as other people do, but at least understand where the line of thinking comes from, especially I mentioned this before and I was mentioning it again, and the whole remixing of the Wizard of Oz especially did not bother me as much as other people, given how, by design, the very nature of the land of Oz is rife for reinterpretation. I mean, and in stage and screen, and the changes they did make also honestly made sense to me, not just in terms of arranging the songs, but also who including new elements unique to the film version. You know what I mean? And the story picks up about where the first chapter left off where as Elphaba Throp, now christened the Wicked Witch of the West, has begun her plan to liberate the downtrodden of Oz, fully embracing her role as an antagonist, and as Glinda is also doing her best to uplift have Oz as a good witch. Which there is definitely lots to ensue into the conflict, and I will also state that I did not mind as much how they handled Dorothy either, because in a way, a Dorothy's story is one that has been told many times, will be told many more. Or so it makes sense that she would not be the focal point this time around, but still key to the story, as with the ones who have become the Cowardly Lion, the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow. I won't say who is who in this one, which give an idea of what kind of role it has in the story there. Admittedly, he I was wondering how they're going to handle whole Nessa Rose, who is playing the role of the Witch of the East. I mean, especially given the discourse over how the character was handled in the book and the play. A, I definitely think that it's a conversation worth having, especially the way the actress framed it, as she's like the first variant of this character to actually be paralyzed as opposed to having like an able-bodied actor play the role. I mean, again, I just say it's a debate worth having, but I think it also adds to who not only her sister Elphaba's heel turn, but also a more personal stake about why she wants her silver shoes back. And I mean, not just because of how powerful they are, but because they are, in a sense, a tragic keepsake for after her sister got her house dropped on her. I mean, her, and even Jeff Goldblum's turn as the wizard, heard, and the way he's ultimately found out and sent back home to Omaha, Nebraska. I mean, well, if you took a balloon here here to Oz from the state fair, a reason you can't take one back, as the play and the film say, we can't all travel by bubble. Of course, based on the how successful the first part was last year on this time, I finally took a look at it earlier in the year, and now, 8 months or so later, I am back for the second half where we definitely reach a conclusion. They've expressed interest in a new follow up potentially in the near future, which I'm actually not against the idea of, given how it's taken in about $150 million so far. not only enough to make its budget back, but also second only to Minecraft, have as the biggest hit of the year, the best opening at least. I mean, and between other stuff that's coming on the marquee very soon, which I won't be able to see all of it right away because of how much I've got going and keeping an eye on on, and I will definitely say, hey, that it's not gonna be surprising at all to see if Richards ends up going to VOD and Paramount Plus sooner than expected, given how it's dropping 65% and at minimum. Seriously, my theater is already planning to dump the new Running Man in favor of screening this more instead, which I think is the right call to make. I mean, of course, they definitely were able to share in both Mulan and Gladiators follow-ups last year, but they did kind of miss out with this, with the first part of this being such a hit. And I definitely think a success is a testament to the enduring legacy of not just the play and the novels, but also the whole Oz canon, and that it is by design a fictional universe that can be reinterpreted in potentially endless ways. I mean, ways where it's especially anchored by its talented cast, yes, especially in terms of both Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo as Glinda and Elphaba. I mean, so it's a fittingly bittersweet and beautiful whole conclusion to a really great story, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, and even though the current critical reception may not be as over the moon as it was in the first parts, her audience reception is quite favorable. Especially makes sense. I mean, not just bringing in fans of the play and the novels, but I heard people all walking out that had never seen the stage version, but were impressed by what the movies are doing. I mean, and admittedly, he it was some of Universal's other attempts at musicals haven't panned out, especially with more infamous does like Dear Evan Hansen and Cats. I mean, admittedly, not everything that works on the stage works on the screen. But this is one example where it does work on the screen. And I think also helps that they were filming both parts at the same time, like they did with Star Lord of the Rings and more recently the Dune cycle whole. And much like Villeneuve's Dune adaptations, I could see both these ones having a very positive long-term impact. And even though the original film from 1939 didn't initially set the world on fire, over time it has become highly influential, innovative, and revered film, and it's just definitely among and these duology is definitely among my favorite Oz adaptations now. Alongside I Return to Oz, I'm still advocating for a 4K release of now that it's turning 40 this year as well. So, and even like the new original songs, I believe there's one that Elphaba leads, there's one that Glinda leads. They don't clash aesthetically with the film's arrangements of the stage version songs, nor the original ones that Schwartz worked on. It definitely he got to include, in fact, a couple of my favorite ones actually from the second half. I mean, No Good Deed and the Eponymous for Good Hood, where I definitely was eager to hear what they would do with the arrangements, and even though there's no cameo from the original stage variants of Elva Among Glinda, Idina Menzel, and Christian Chenoweth this time, I think they would appreciate what uh, their new counterparts have done quite a lot. And I've also been really eager to see how John M. Chu has grown and changed as a director, going from making relatively modestly budgeted concert films to all sorts of big screen musical adaptations. I stand by the fact that considered In the Heights to be one of my favorite films of 2021, and I'm still putting together what I'm enjoying this year, especially since we still have just over 1 month to go, and I intend to make the most of it, to be sure. Before I give this thing a final rating, I've decided against doing coming attractions tonight. I'll probably just post my community tab. I've been on a little while. I mean, and also like to thank some of the people I've gotten for support my recent content. I intend to keep up with finishing my look at Ultimate Journeys. I've gotten, and the last script I want to do before I start formally covering Masters 8. I'm really putting a lot of focus into writing the scripts for finale, as well as for the Project Mew two-parter, her, so I can, and other stuff I got in mind that I've been sharing my community tab. I'm just trying to figure out all the order in there, so I'm not too deep into my Thanksgiving dinner on Thursday. Gonna have some stuff ready to go by then, and also because of something unexpected on my end, looks like I might be talking about the final season of Stranger Things after all. At least the first course of it. Anyway, I give this film a wonderful whole 4 stars out of 4, 5 stars out of 5 wizardry, and I will definitely see you all again very soon, so take care, everyone.